Good afternoon, or I should say good evening. I am Rufus Bill, and welcome to another edition of Talking To. Today is Sunday, December 14th, 2025. It is a very, very cold and wintry day here in the city of Lady Detroit. I'm so glad that you're here with us today for Talking To. We have hosted by Joanne Tosin Fuller and also Justin Hearn. How was your day today? Did you do something that was special that gave you a new lease and outlook on your life? Or did you just do nothing today and just enjoy the cold if you're coldy? Nonetheless, whatever you did, I hope you were successful at it. And you're getting ready to wind it on down and get ready for the work week. And, you know, with everything that comes with the work week. Listen, we have a great show coming up for you today. The Lions are currently playing the Rams, who's the number one team in the country. And when I first checked on them, this is prior to halftime, they were ahead. But in the third quarter, they were behind, trailing the Detroit Rams 24-27. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a view and a perspective from Justin Hearn when he comes on the show today. But until then, we have the fragrance of the show, Joanne Tosin Fuller. Good afternoon, Joanne. How are you?
Hello, Rufus. How are you?
I'm doing well. We
you all are
missed you.
freezing there.
We are freezing. Now, see, you gave away the clue. She said there. She's not here. She's there.
Look, I just came out of 80-degree weather.
Girl.
And I'm in 50-degree weather, and it's freezing.
It's freezing. I know.
When I come home tomorrow, I'm nervous.
Ooh, you have to come home
I hear
tomorrow
it's like 19 there.
Yes, it was 8 this morning. 8 degrees. And
I want to be a snowbird.
And fly away.
I want to be a snowbird. I want to be one of those that leaves like right after Thanksgiving and then comes back around Easter
and do it all over again.
But I love the heat. I love the heat.
Yes.
I love the water. I do. I like heat. I know a lot of people don't, but I do.
Yeah, I love it too. I don't like to be in it, but I love that when it's here. And I was thinking, when I was on my way home from church today, and I came in, and as soon as I got settled, I said, "Oh, I didn't get something," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll go back out after the show." But as I was getting ready for the show, and I heard that wind, just a little wind rustling, I said, "I don't know if I'm going back out." I'll brave it.
If I need, I can get it tomorrow. And I'm already out.
While I'm out.
See, if it was summertime, you would have no problem.
I would have no problem.
Snapping on out, going out, get what you have to get, and come on back home.
Yes,
and it's cold, and you have to bundle up and wrap up and warm up the car and all of that.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
Tell us about the cruise. How was it?
Beautiful. It was beautiful. It was nice. It was
relaxing.
Nice. Relaxing,
okay.
And well-deserved vacation.
That's good.
So myself.
All right. I'm glad everything worked out well for you.
Thank you.
So we have a very interesting show today. We're going to be talking about the former coach of Michigan U of M, former Coach Moore, and about what he's experiencing right now. We're going to kind of delve into why do men risk everything? Their careers, their family, their mental stability for sex. And I know this is an age-old question, but maybe in this next 60 minutes, we'll be able to get some answers here and help change the world. You never know.
The oldest question in the world, right?
Yes, it
The
is.
oldest question in the
The
world.
oldest question. And I have some information about the latest news about former Coach Moore. And we're going to talk about some psychology things about why men do what they do. You're going to add some things about women and daughters and mothers and their roles and just how all of that comes about and comes into play. But before we do that, we're going to talk. It's the holiday season. We're going to go and talk to Jay Sanford, 1340 AM WCHB, the voice of the church. And we're honored to have him on and to come kind of share with our listeners and our viewers, Joanne, about what he is doing and what
Mm-hmm.
the station is doing. And with that, we would like to say welcome to the one, the only, the man with the plan, Mr. Jay Sanford. Hello, Jay. How are you today?
Happy holiday to the both of you.
we we are so glad to have you on today.
Thank you. And if I can answer the question, or if I was the man with the
Yes,
plan
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
about Coach Moore,
Uh-huh.
but I can't answer that question either. So I don't have the plan.
You don't have the plan? All right, then. Well, we're going to move back on to what we're talking about. We have the plan.
Yeah,
But what?
no, I said absolutely. I'm down with you. Absolutely.
Okay. So first of all, before we get into what you're doing and at the radio station, give us a little history about you and radio. How did all of this come to be that you are like the leading gospel air personality in the Detroit metropolitan area?
Wow. And when'd you find that out? Merry Christmas, Jay.
Merry Christmas.
Well, listen, I've been in radio since '92. I've been in Detroit radio since '96, maybe. Uh,
Hmm.
Went to Augusta, Georgia for a little while. Came back,
Okay.
and then I started working at formerly WMKM, which was a gospel.
Hmm. Wait just a minute. I'm sorry. That was a former what now?
It was the flagship station for gospel radio here. They were the very first gospel radio here in the city of Detroit, WMKM. I'm say gospel full time,
24/7.
absolutely. And they were doing so very well, and I guess they did a spinoff. WMUZ started a gospel station in '97, and I started working for them the first time in 2001.
Hmm.
When, 2004, I went to WGPR, and I was the morning show host. I did 6 to 10 in the morning.
Okay.
This was the pro, and I was able to do the last Lou Rawls Parade of Stars, and
Were you? I
I had
didn't know that.
yeah tape somewhere. It's a VHS,
Definite.
and so able to do that, and so then I was out of radio for a while,
Okay.
2007 until 2017. I took care of my, well, I don't call it taking care of. I was able to serve my dad, uh,
Mhm.
right, and you knew about that.
Yes, I did.
I was able to serve my dad for 7 years prior to his death. He needed full time care. I would
Hmm.
do that, and currently went back. My family has a business.
Right.
Um, you know that too.
I know that too.
And I was on, and I continue this. It's very few radio stations that you can go to, and within that same week, I got a phone call from uh, WCHB, and they asked me to, actually it was WEXL at the time before we changed the call letter.
Right.
come and sit in for Norma Jean Pender. She had a stroke. And they were looking for people. Within 2 days, they came in there and offered me the job. So I've been there ever since 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
How has radio changed your life?
Um, actually, it's very rewarding when you can talk to people and you can uh, send a message of, because see, and here once again, you know me, I'm not religious, I'm relational. I believe in relationship. My mandate is plainness of speech, a clarity of words, and a simplicity of explanation. And so what I don't do is, when I went back to CHB, well, Crawford Media Group, God told me to stay away from social issues because that's not what I'm there for.
Okay.
Issues is something that everybody deals with. Listening to your intro, we all deal with something, and I call them flesh. So
You call them what?
flesh use.
Oh, flesh shoes. Okay.
I focus more on pride, because pride is one of the things that Lucifer can give you the definition of pride, because he was
Hmm.
out of heaven. I think out of all of the three things that every last one of us on this planet deals with is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. And I believe that the pride of life is very pivotal and essential, really, if you will. I- I'm trying to see how I can phrase this, because it's one of the sins that will, if you will, get you sent straight to hell, because pride has a lot of components to it. The that's something that you and I have to deal with. The lust of the eyes, the same thing. But
Hmm.
a lot of us, you know, so I'm thankful for the experience as far as being in radio and being able to, because I have to study a lot because I need a lot of information. So
Okay.
I correct. And I know how intelligent you are, and like right now, I have to be ready for you.
You got a curveball there.
Oh man.
Well, we didn't want to send you a curveball, Jay, but we wanted we wanted people to kind of know about where you started, how you started, because they hear you every day from, what is it, from nine to 12,
Yeah, 9:15 to noon.
nine
Yeah.
fifteen to 12, and sometimes I have never heard you give like a history of yourself during those times, or really at any time when you've been on. But the people, people want to know, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to share with Joanne and Justin, myself, and everyone else about how you got started. So, Joanne, Jay is doing a holiday special there at CHB. So tell us about what you're doing.
Okay. It's called now. You and I've had this conversation, so it's
Hmm.
safe to talk about this. It's called The Essence of Christmas. We want to bring about how what Christmas is really about. Every
Okay.
doing a toy drive, and so I suggested that we don't collect toys this year because of the climate that we're living in. We know that a lot of kids that were out food stamps were not getting money for a little while. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to help. I have a nonprofit agency, excuse me, nonprofit organization that's called Eli. And what I wanted to do is my nonprofit focusing on helping homeless. So what I thought about, I said, well, since we're going to collect, and they want to do toys, I don't want to do toys. I want to collect uh, food, uh, articles like uh, well, at the time
Mittens,
you get
sweaters.
hats and gloves. But then I got contacted with an LLC who needed us a nonprofit. So what we wanted to do was they teamed up with the Michigan Human Services and
Oh,
an agency, and it's 10,000 kids that are in the adoption agency here in the state of Michigan, over 100,000 state countrywide. So a lot of them, and I was having conversations with quite a few parents, and same, and a lot of odorant, a lot of the things that they need when they go. It's just something like a backpack with travel items. You know how we're fortunate to be able to have some things. These children don't have that. So
Hmm.
kids that are about to age out and they're gonna be homeless, and that's another story. But we're collecting a lot of those items. Have a list of items. You can go to WCHB13.com and go to our web page, and you can see all the list of uh, different items that we're collecting. Also, we're collecting canned goods, uh, non-perishable items. What we want to help food pantry of consuming fire, and if we get an overload, we want to take the rest of those things. We want to at least bless two other food pantries, the churches that we know that are feeding, you know.
And helping in the community.
That's
That's,
great. That is awesome.
yes, we're going to be doing a live broadcast, uh, serving family was established to assist a village of individuals, and be, that they're
Wait a minute, Jay. For some reason, you're breaking up. Um, is how is your connection on your end? We see you, but you're coming in and out.
I don't know. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Okay, you're perfect. Okay, whatever you just did.
Okay, so here's what it was. I have it standing up, so it must have been on the microphone.
Oh, okay.
You know, I want you all to see the Christmas tree.
It's
Oh, we see
beautiful.
it now.
It's beautiful.
That's what I was
Yes.
trying to do. I was trying to get the ambiance.
You were trying to give us visual.
That's what I was trying to do.
You,
The ambiance, the mood of the season.
Yeah, absolutely,
okay,
absolutely.
we see you. We see you.
She was trying to give us
decorated that
weather, and
tree?
pardon me.
Did you decorate?
Let's keep that moving, okay?
It's decorated, right?
The only thing I decorate is me every day, okay?
Okay.
And my mother, when you know I serve my mother now.
Right.
My mother had got COVID in 2020, and when she was in hospital for 5 days, and when she came home, she started showing signs of dementia. She's not full blown. I'm blessed to serve her, and
Hmm.
I have to make this caveat. As I was saying, I'm not religious. I'm relational. But the first commandment with a promise is honor your father and your mother, and your days will be longer upon the earth. And I believe the word of God. Don't get that twisted. I got issues. I got flesh issues like everybody else. Okay, I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect because I am far from it. And this is why I wish we would stop looking at it. And I know I'm deviating, but I wish we would stop looking at these men and women who stand in the pulpit. When they fall, we get jaded, if you will,
Definitely.
because you have to look at these people as human, just like we
Yes.
are.
Yes.
You know, these people don't have no special powers to be able to keep from doing what they're doing.
Right.
They never dealt with their issues that they had. It's see the thing about it is when you look at Paul, Paul's whole thing was he said, I had a thorn in my flesh. And if we look, if God delivered Paul from that thorn, the one thing that would have happened is Paul would have been the poster child for how to walk this walk, salvation, because Paul said, I was a Benjamin of, and he said, I was a super apostle. In other words, I'm just going to make this short. But the one thing that he would have been prideful. And that once again is where I'm trying to keep us from falling into that um, uh, realm of pride, because see, if he didn't have this thorn, and I'm glad God didn't tell us what his thorn was. We all speculative. Don't worry about Paul's thorn because Paul is gone. Worry about your own thorn.
Deal with your own thorns.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is
Hmm.
the one thing that I try to make sure that I tell everybody every day, you know. And so stop looking at these men and these women as their superheroes. None of them are superheroes. The ones that you should have been looking at was your parents, and all of them had issues. And I know, Sister Joanne, you're going to be talking about something a little bit later on. And this is one of the things that we have to be mindful of. And these children that are homeless, This is one thing that I would love to be able to help them in the
Mhm.
areas. And also, we're collecting coloring books and Bibles and stuff like that. That's why I wish everybody would go to our webpage. And we're going to be broadcasting live on this Tuesday,
Okay.
December 16th, from 9 until 6. And we're going to be collecting those items. We're going to even be taking donations. And we're going to be there at Consuming Fire Christian Center, located at 23310 Joy Road. That's just east of Telegraph in Redford. So if anybody can come out, please feel free to come on out and join us. Val Monroe and myself will be broadcasting live. And I would look forward to seeing you. And Sister Joanne, I know you're coming back tomorrow, so you might as well just drop on
I'm
by.
gonna stop on.
Drop
Hey,
on by. You
I
already
just
just
might
told
do
us.
that. And you
Yeah,
said this is Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, yes,
Okay.
from 9
Okay.
until 6.
Okay.
Well, you didn't invite
Writing that
me.
down right now.
You're supposed to come anyway, Rudy.
Oh, was I? Okay.
I'm sorry,
I said, oh,
Mr.
okay.
Bill. Mr. Bill.
Well,
He forgot.
listen, if people want to donate money and they want to do it by check, who would they make the check out to?
They can make the check out to eLife,
Okay.
and then it would be what properly put in the bank, and then it would be distributed to the other organizations.
Necessary. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. To
Okay.
yeah.
So are you going to interview any of the agencies?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I have that whole time. I'm gonna be on air from 9 to 6. So
Oh, so you and Val both.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
yes, yes,
The whole day.
absolutely.
Well, that reminds me, Joanne, of those long ago telethons
Yes.
when they would be all
Remember
day
those all
raising
night
different
long,
monies
all
and
night long.
funds
I used
for
to
great.
love those.
Yeah, I did too.
The Jerry Lewis
The
telethon,
Jerry
Yeah,
Lewis
all the
telethon, and of
entertainment
course,
and
as Jay
everything. I
said,
used to watch them all the time.
and
yeah.
of course, as Jay said, the Lou Rawls telethon. So that's
Yes,
interesting in
yes.
itself. Yeah. So one more time, give us the location of the church.
23310 Joy Road in Redford. That is actually just north of Rouge Park, but east of Telegraph. So if you get to Telegraph, you're going too far. Unless you're coming down Telegraph and you're coming from, like, say, 8 Mile,
Okay.
you would have to do a Michigan U at Joy Road. And then there is a Walgreens, if I'm not mistaken, right there on the corner. You make a right turn and you go down maybe about 5 blocks, and it's on your left-hand side. But it'll be signage out there, and so you'll be able to see. And just come on into the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Correct.
Yes.
All right, and we, as Jay has already mentioned, Joanne, that we can go to the website of WCHB and see the list of things, and also we can see what he's doing and what the organization is doing, and how we can all contribute, and to make this a success for families and especially for children, because it really is sad, especially during this time, and you're seeing children going to school, because I see it daily, that are not adequately prepared for the weather, and it's unbelievable. Some of the children are still wearing coats from the previous year, and you know that they've outgrown them, but that's all they have. And one thing for sure, when you help a child and feed into them material things, as well as uplifting principles, that helps change their lives, and they feel better about themselves, because children are mean to each other. And if what you're doing, not if, but what you're doing will help children, their hygiene, their appearance. So it's a great opportunity for everyone to get involved. Once again, do you have a phone number where they can reach, get more information? Because some people are not savvy with the computer.
You're absolutely right. There's a lot of people who don't know, but you can actually call the radio station at 313-272-3434. You have to dial 313 wherever you are now,
Right.
248-586-734, whatever the prefix is. 313-272-3434. And they can get directly in contact with me, or they can reach me in the studio at 313-837-1340. That's 313-837-1340. And Brother Rufus, may I go into interviewer mode for a second here, if you don't mind,
No,
please?
no. Yes. Joanne, you're so funny. Go right ahead, Jay.
I just want to ask you, because I know you're in the education and you are in the educational system and
Mhm.
you teach children. What are some of the main things that you deal with when it comes to, if there was a category, what is the number one issue that these children deal with every day when you deal with these kids? What are over the years you've been in, the years that you've been there, what are some of the main issues that would be the top of the list?
It would be self-image.
Mm.
These children that are on their educational journey are plagued with self-image challenges.
Person.
So do
You
you
know,
think, let me just stop you for a second there. Do you think it's because of the internet? Because remember when you and I and Sister Joanne was coming up, we didn't have, if you were being bullied, you were just bullied that in school. Now, when you go
I
home, you're
just
bullied.
fought.
you just
Well,
fought.
I was a fighter.
I'm not mad at you, but you weren't no bully, right?
I was not a bully.
And you
I got
didn't.
bullied, but I
Yeah,
was
well,
not a bully.
we all did, and it wasn't. And I can't say that it was to the point of, these children, they commit suicide, but see, they
Yes,
take
no, it
their cell
wasn't.
phones
Yeah.
home. They're on social media and they're constantly being bullied. So my question to you is: do you think it has to do with the time that we're living in, because they take this home with them every day? Uh,
I think what the problem is it somewhat of the internet, but it's the children seeing the celebrities glammed, hair, eyes, uh, attire, and what they do. Now I'm in elementary, so that they don't wear lashes, but their
Not yet.
concentration is
Go ahead.
not yet, not yet. You're right. There is their hair and their fingernails. And now the girls, they've gotten back off, Joanne, into lip gloss, and they'll come into my classroom and they just shine, and I go make them take it off
Oh,
because first of all, they don't need to have their lips glossed like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of the girls don't have means to buy lip gloss. So now they're looking at them doing this and like, you don't have any. And then those girls feel bad. If they don't have weave in their hair, the girls will try to cover their head. That's how far gone they are. If their mother, if they're in the process of taking down their braids and there's their natural hair after it's been shampooed, and it might be like in little afro puffs, they don't think that they measure up to standards. And I tell them all the time, you have no standards other than learning the lesson. But there was an incident this week, Jay, 3 little girls. And what happened was they were getting into an argument, 2 of the girls. And I always tell my students, if you get into an argument and you start fighting, if I tell you to stop arguing and you don't, and it escalates to a fight, I said, I'm going to let you fight. I said, but I'm going to record you and send it home to your parents to see how you're acting in my class. And now that has really has helped because I haven't had any fights, but that argument. So when I got down to the nitty gritty, it was another girl who was befriending both of the girls. And then they didn't know that she was friend with both of the girls, each other friend. And so Joanne, I'm telling Jay what Joanne said about Jay, then I'm telling Jay what Jay said about Joanne. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
This is fourth grade. Fourth
Already.
grade.
Already.
So the biggest problem is their image, their self-image, because if they don't have now they wear uniforms, but if they don't have the shoes, the latest shoes, they're laughing at them. And it just does something to their psyche. Now, in some cases, there have been, they have older brothers and sisters, so they're seeing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest issue. And what is really bad about it, Jay, is that they can't see beyond that. They're not thinking about their spelling test. They're not thinking about what I'm trying to teach them because they're so concerned about nothing. So that's the biggest issue I see.
But you have to it's not nothing to them because of where they're getting it from also.
Yes.
When you have the parents, when you have grandparents who are into all of that, who are into the clothes, the shoes, the lashes, the lip gloss, the weaves, when you have all of that and that's what you grow up with and that's what you see, and you see the parents who are in competition with neighbors and friends and
Exactly.
relatives, and they have that same self-esteem issue.
Yes, they do.
So it does come down. So it seems like it's nothing to us who that's not our
Our
goal of the day,
right.
It's or the week or however you want to put it. But when that's all they see, and I shouldn't say that's all they see, but that's what they see, a lot of that. They see that. So that's important to them. I remember when my son was in school and it was the shoes, it was the gym shoes back then. But I had to steady talk because I was not one of those who would cave in. Now, if I saw them at a really good clearance price sale,
you
maybe,
grab.
and then even then it would be like, but Ma, those are last year. That's the old model. Well, you gonna either get the old model or you won't.
No model.
So that was because that was not my. And trust me, I'm in the beauty business. I'm in the fashion business, but that was not my goal, especially for my
son.
My son. And so when that's what they see and that's all they know,
right?
And school is secondary.
Yes, it is.
Which is sad.
I had a second grader, and she's now in I think fourth grade, and so she came to school one day. They were going on a field trip, and she had on a halter top, and she had on the tightest jeans that could have ever been on a second grade. And so when she came into the classroom, even the other students were like, and so I told her to come over. I said, is your mom still going on the trip? She said, yes. So I decided to go and talk to the mom about her apparel. She was dressed like her mother. She was dressed like her mother. And so it was just crazy to see that the daughter wearing a halter top is dressed exactly like the mother. And so when the person over the field trip, she was telling the mother, well, we're not going to be able to let you go because of how you're dressed. And the mother, she's like, oh, okay. And she went to her car and she got her sweater, whatever it is, and covered up. And she had something for her daughter because I guess she knew that it was a little much, but if she could get away with it, she was going to. So so as you said, Joanne, a lot of the things, Jay, we see are stemmed from their norms, which come from their home and the surrounding that that they have.
And I must apologize to you all. I had my phone started ringing, then all of a sudden I couldn't hear you all anymore.
Okay.
And so, but there was one more question that I want to ask you. Do you see more? There are a number of males that are now raising their children alone. Do you see more fathers being?
I do.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. I do.
And I think it's a good thing.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I
I
do
really,
too.
I really do.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I was amazed that at the last parent teacher conference that I had most all dads, maybe one mom, and these are young guys, so they're 25, 28, and I always have to remember that they're still having children, so they're
Yeah.
younger, but they were heavily involved and they were concerned about that behavior.
Good.
And I do have a couple of dads that showed up that had an experience in being away in jail, in prison, and they don't want their sons to go that route. And they're asking me, "You give me their phone numbers. Call me if
Amen.
it."
Amen. I love it.
I said,
Yeah, I do too.
You don't have to worry." I said, "But by the time if I have to call a parent, I have exhausted all means."
That child that went home in the ambulance. Why you playing? Poor baby.
They were cutting up, was that 2 weeks ago? And they were just on something. I said, "You gonna be disrespectful?" I said, "Maybe we need to do some jumping jacks." We did jumping jacks. At 150,
Oh,
they got it together.
I know they
oh.
did.
Yes, they did. I said, "Now let's go get in line. Let's go get some water."
Mr. Bill, you're not going to stop? Mr. Bill, Mr. Bill.
They got to do jumping jacks to the water fountain, huh?
And I went and told them, "When you go home, tell your parents what you were doing in my class." And then I went and told their homeroom teacher, and then I went and told the principal.
Hey.
They don't have any structure because we, especially as African Americans, this particular generation think it's all cute. Not that the others didn't, but you see a heavy dominance. Oh, that's cute. Oh, they're expressing themselves. Oh, no, no. You're gonna sit down and quiet your mouth in my class,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
they need structure.
And they need structure at home. A lot of times, parents, and what I see with a lot, especially the younger parents, is they don't feel like a child should even have structure at home.
No.
So they let them just go, 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 go. And then when they get out, they wonder why they can't sit still, be still. And I remember my mom was a foster mother. So I should say my parents were foster parents.
Hmm.
And so, there were times when, okay, it's quiet time in the house. You have to sit down and read something, color something, but it was just quiet time in the house,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And so that's how I raised my son, even in the summertime. Before he could get outside and all that, there were chores, and then he had to read an article in the newspaper
Okay.
and write down what he read,
Hmm.
because I need to know that he could comprehend
Comprehend.
everything that he read. So that was like his thing. Um, but that's what we did. But there's no structure. So how, when they get out, do you now all of a sudden you want them to sit still in a restaurant?
Right. It's
You want them to
impossible.
sit still in church or meeting or wherever you go. You want them to now be quiet and sit still.
Well,
If you
Well,
you got
don't
to
do
remember.
some of that training at home, it's not going to happen when you get out.
no, it's not.
Well,
Mostly not.
a lot of these parents they won't sit still.
Right.
Now that's
They
true.
can't sit still.
That's true.
Yeah, and so
Hmm.
they only know what they know. You're not down on what you're not up on.
Right.
So,
I like that.
you
And
know,
Israel has now banned cell phones for children.
yeah. I know it was one of those
Hmm.
countries. Yeah, and
Because they said that we are raising a bunch of idiots, letting them have these
And
cell
it's so true.
phones.
It's
And
so
it's
true.
true.
And is it New York? I think there are two states now who are trying to ban cell phones from coming to school.
Hmm.
Some of the parents are fighting it. I'm almost sure New York is one of the states, but I think there's another state also that are trying to ban cell phones coming to
you
school. Period.
you know
Not
the
just
problem
coming to
that
school and locking them up, but coming to school. Period.
Right.
well the problem that I have is they're trying to put the genie back in the bottle.
Thank you.
This is where I don't
Thank you.
understand. They want to put prayer back in the schools or the Ten Commandments back in the schools, and I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, all the people who want to do all this stuff is the very ones who are perpetuating the crime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all want folks to do what you want them to do, but you're not doing it.
Hmm.
And then see the thing about it, when I came up, it was we did the Pledge of Allegiance, we sang God
Oh,
Bless
that's
America,
right.
Yes,
We
we
sure
did.
did.
yeah, and so now when you look at the things that are going on now, what was her name, Madeline Murray O'Hare, that got
Mhm.
prayer out of the
O'Hare.
school,
Mhm.
Yes.
and
Yes.
then you saw how she was murdered and she was cut up,
That was
and
sad.
it really was, but the thing about it is, people, you know, you cannot send a wild animal out until it's trained.
Right.
Exactly.
And our innate instincts is to be whatever we want it to be.
Right.
If we could raise ourselves, we would.
We
But a
would.
lot of these parents is what happened is the ones in my generation, when I came up in an apostolic sanctified church, and grandparents, great
Good.
grandparents, and things like that. So what it was, the ones that were just a few years older than I was said they would never send their children to church because they didn't like the structure.
The structure.
Right.
So then what happened was these kids, they start having children. They didn't send their children to church. Then the next thing you know, they were raised by their grandparents. And then the ones my age start getting on drugs. So
Hmm.
they start having babies, uh, drug addicted babies. They start having all kind of issues. And then the grandparents were getting older. They were tired. They couldn't raise
Right.
these kids, because for one, have you ever tried to raise a child that's ziggity boom? And especially especially when you our age, you get
No,
tired
you
of 'em. Will
did.
you take that child home? Then you got somebody who's living with you every day. Not every day, but every
Every day. Every day.
day. And you tired. You done did yours.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you're not
We had an incident.
chastising and punishing and whooping
Yes.
and because you don't have the energy. You just be glad to get up,
Yeah.
get them
Absolutely.
dressed, get them out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get
There
on.
was an incident. They cannot be on their phones in school. We locked them up. So after school, they were waiting around for after school classes, and I saw one of the seventh graders with her phone, and she was with her girls. And so normally I don't have any interaction with them other than good morning or something because they're in a separate building, but they have to come to the other building for the after school programs. And I said, I don't think you're supposed to be on your cell phone. She said, I am calling my she said, I'm calling my parents, something she said, very catty. I said, oh, today's your day. I said,
Lunch lady. Anyway.
Excuse me.
I said, I do understand that. I said, so if you want to call your parent, why don't you step outside of the building and then come back in? I'll let them know that I gave you permission. Well, I'm standing right here. I said, little girl, I'll take that phone and step on it. You won't talk to nobody else ever.
Mr. Bill.
Yeah. Medea.
she looked at her friends, and then the one girl, she said, yeah, he's kind of like that because my little brother tells me how he run his classroom. So you probably better put it away because he hasn't even moved.
I'm glad somebody had a clue because she needed to buy her one because she was about to find out real quick. Oh,
real quick.
Oh, I know your picture is up hanging in the office. There's probably one of those boards that they have
a dark board.
No, not a dark board, but the little what do they use now for advertising? The banners,
the banners.
The digital signs. There's a digital sign in the school for you, and this picture is right there. If y'all want to get taken care of, fool with Mr. Bill. Even the teachers know.
I'm not going to make any more comments on that, Joanne.
Because I do when he called me and said,
heard some of those stories.
Hey, listen. Because when I called him tonight, I said, did you send me the link yet? Because I know I'm going to get cussed out if I don't get the link from you. I
Not
said, okay.
Rufus. Not Rufus.
Yeah,
Thank you,
no, not
Joanne.
Ruben. But but
Oh, I
Mr.
already know.
Bill, okay. Y'all didn't invite me on here for this.
See, when you're supposed to know how to act when you go out to people's houses.
And this is
See,
why I'm acting like this. Listen, I ain't gonna be fake nowhere, okay?
telling you.
Well, listen, Jay. Before you go, tell us again the location for the drive on Tuesday.
It's at the Consuming Fire Christian Center Ministries, 23310 Joy Road, just east of Telegraph. And we'll be there live from 9 until 6, Tuesday, December 16th.
Perfect.
And they can go to WCHB1340.com and see the list of items that we're trying to collect.
All right. Very good. Very good. Jay, can you hang on for a little while longer?
Sure.
Okay.
You mean you want me?
Well, I think so.
Yes.
But I have see Joanne. See, Joanne is the peacekeeper. She keeps me right. So
He's putting his foot in his
yes. We're gonna switch tracks a little bit. It's been all in the news about the University of Michigan former head coach, Coach Shannon, who has lost his position because of just not using his brain. A lot has gone on. He had an inappropriate relations with his coworker. He he gave her a raise, doubled her salary, and this is what started the investigation. When he wanted to break it off with her, she went and told the coach, the head person of the athletic department, I think his last name is Shiver, what he was doing, which confirmed everything, which ended the investigation of what they were trying to do to find out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
After they found that out, they terminated him. He went over to her house, threatened her, just very volatile. And now, he caught a case. They just released him Friday. And we wanted to discuss a little bit about why men, especially men, will risk everything, their careers, their families, for sex. Now, before we even really get into that aspect of this topic, girls are taught by their mothers. They're supposed to be taught by their mothers on how to become wives. Now, in different cultures, different mothers teach their daughters differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the African American culture, I think we have a different way than most. And Joanne, kind of shed some light on how mothers educate their daughters in being wives.
Well, old school.
Old school.
Old school, because that was the thing. You grew up, you got married, you had children.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why your parents or your mom taught you how to cook, how to clean, how to wash, how to iron, how to take care of a home, how to take care of a man, how to take care of. And so a lot of that, like I was taught, you didn't chase a man. If he wants you, he's gonna come get you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not one of those who ran after or chased men. Nowadays, I don't think there are any rules. It seems, because it's like everybody, it's freestyle now. Everything is so free. Women are asking men to marry them. Women are asking the men out for dates and asking, what I'm. So it's totally different. But I also was not raised to grow up to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
My dad taught me, he wanted me, and he said this to me, I don't ever want you to need a man, but I want you to want a man. Because when you need a man, you'll take any man.
Hmm.
And so that's how he taught me. So he even taught me things about how to take care of my car, how to do certain things. Um, but I don't think that's going on nowadays.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
It's
not
not.
going on.
Um, hmm,
And what I've seen, and I have friends of various races, and
hmm
conversations, they have specifically said, well, my mother said when I was away in school, don't go to the regular library where everyone else, especially if in your field of study, go to the
hmm
library where the doctors are, where where they're studying to become doctors, and acquaint yourself in that, and then and turn on your femme fatale
hmm
for the man.
hmm hmm
And because that way you make a connection, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to latch on to you,
hmm
and you latch on to them. They haven't mentioned anything about love,
No, no.
anything.
And back in the day, but back in the day also, especially with, because I've known people who were and are in arranged marriages.
Hmm.
So those marriages were arranged when they were children, you
Yes.
know. And so the statement of the parents are, you learn to love,
Right.
you
That was
grow
the
to
statement.
love. You
Mhm.
don't have to be in love because they consider that more infatuation than love.
Did love.
And so like when I was in high school, basically what you were just saying, when I was in high school, there were our cousins now, because I went to a predominantly um, white school.
Okay.
So to me, that was their mindset.
Yes.
Even though a lot of the females wanted to go to college and went to college, and I know people who are psychologists, who are lawyers, who are, doctors, but once they got married,
Then that was it.
that was it.
That was it.
They wanted to stay home. They wanted to take care of the children. They wanted to be taken care of. They wanted to,
Hmm.
but I don't think especially as blacks and as black women, we have that privilege.
I
I
agree.
don't think. Now that's just my
I
opinion. I
agree.
don't think we've had to take care of. We've had to do, um, and most of us grew up in a household where both parents worked.
Hmm.
My dad worked 2, 3 jobs to take care, and my mom worked. So, yeah, I think the whole mindset has changed on that.
So my curiosity with the mindset now, how this woman, she was able to connect with the former coach. He makes a decision, Jay, to begin an extramarital affair. He was scheduled to get, I think it was $13 million in his contract, getting $5 million a year, risking all that. Now, for her, and what is interesting to me, Jay, is that right on the heels of Shannon Sharp, he would do this.
You know.
Why do you think, Jay,
Well,
that?
see, I want I want to comment. Sister Joanne said something that was really real talk.
Mhm.
And what has happened is, yes, there were you had both parents in the house. Now, I have 7 brothers and 3 sisters. My mom worked at home. My dad had several jobs as far as because he had his own business, plus he worked a secular job, and he did very well, and he taught us very well. My dad was before his time, if you really ask me. But here's the problem that I see is we never, as the black middle class started to matriculate and started to make money, what happened was they came in and the young black boys started being in sports. and they started playing these sports and they started making all kind of money. So what it did was it took away from the educational standpoint of it, and they weren't trying to be doctors and lawyers and school teachers and things like this. What they were ascribing to be or achieving to be were sports players.
Mhm.
And then a lot of them, as they started making this money, they started attracting other races. And then they started thinking about, well, where if you will, the forbidden fruit or the grass is greener on the other side.
Mhm.
So what they wanted to do is they wanted to try the other side. And here once again, I'm gonna go back to the word flesh use. It all has to do with our flesh. Because if you don't know how to keep your flesh under subjection and control yourself, and you trying to get with whomever you trying to get with, then you're gonna fall into some kind of
Yes.
Trick bag.
quandary.
Yes.
Yes, trick bag.
Yes.
So as I look at him, what he did was he had a wife at home. He started
Struggle.
he started believing his own hype. And then he started when we start making money. See, he had this big contract, and you're absolutely right. I think it was $14 million that
Okay.
they're not going to pay him
Right.
because that's the remainder of his contract. So he messed up himself because he went after this young woman. This young woman, 23 years old. So as I am understanding it, he had Plan B DoorDash to
To her.
his office. Yes, his
Mhm.
office.
His
He paid
office.
for it. And so my thing is, they were already investigating him prior, and they had denied it. So then, when this happened, he wakes up on the cloud nine, and then by the end of the day, he's a felon. And so he wants to run to the church, and that's where they found him at the church, and he had talked about committing suicide and things like this. But I look at it from the standpoint of he never dealt with his self prior to him getting the money that he started to make.
To make.
Then he started believing the hype in himself, because what happens is there's that word pride. He became prideful, and he thought, because I'm making all this money, and see, this is where we make our mistake. And I have to say this, and I no means to be racist in any way, but we forget the hue of our skin when we start making these kind of dollars.
And
And
decisions.
And we can't
absolutely,
play the game that they play. I don't care how much money we make. We have to realize we cannot play the game that they
absolutely,
play.
absolutely,
We don't
absolutely.
know. We don't know how to play that
We
game.
don't know how to play it
We
And
because
they
don't.
we
won't
haven't
let
been
us
taught.
play that
And
game.
they not. Thank you. They'll let us get so far, and then they're gonna snatch it, and we have not learned that lesson yet.
But listen, as quiet as it's kept, and we may not look at it this way, but when he got the job, his time was ticking,
It was ticking.
and they was like, "Oh, okay, we've got to find a way." And then see, now it probably would have prolonged it a little bit had he won against Ohio State. It may have not come down as quick, but when he lost, it was like, okay, let's find out what's up.
It's a
Then he
problem.
goes over
It's
there
all a
and
game.
yeah, yeah, it's all a game. And then he goes over there and he breaks into her house. I don't understand what he's
What
trying to
was he trying
accomplish.
to
We
do?
lose it. They
We you
at that point we lost
that's
it.
the spiraling.
But you still had $5 million. He had more money in the bank set aside that he could have took that little bit of money, even though let me not call it little bit because I don't have it. But the one thing that I would say is he could have took that money and he could have started investing it, because he had to have a few $1 million because he was on his second year of coaching.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
he had some money. So now what he did was he has really stuck a nail in his coffin, and now he's gonna be hard pressed to get anything. So he's gonna have to start some kind of investments. And he's gonna have to do something to be able to build his portfolio up. So what happens is now he has to deal with a disgruntled wife. He
Hmm.
has to
Who's
deal with
filed for divorce?
can you blame her?
Now that's alimony
Now that's
Yeah,
alimony.
is it right?
Let's talk about the
and child support,
attorneys.
maybe.
Child support. There's 2 children. They
Three children, a set of twins, and a baby that they just had.
just had right.
So we have
And
And now
attorney
there's lawyer
fees.
fees. Now there are
Attorney
attorney
fees.
fees. You just paid $25,000 bond. So now
right.
So when you look at all of that, was it worth it? Was it?
What
And could
Like you
it
said, it
have
was
been?
pride, ego, all of that.
But you know what I wonder, Joanne and Jay? We the Jays. We don't have Justin, but we got Jay. What let me say this not like Rufus. What may be interesting
I
is
have to laugh at that.
is what she may have done sexually to this man that may have never been done, that just got him all out of whack.
And I also want to say, or want to, because she was his subordinate, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So she was also an employee.
Yes.
Yes.
So what's her, now, is she also fired?
No.
No,
Is she
not at
also?
this point. And you have the same question, Sister Joanne, that I have.
Because that
I
goes
want to
both
know.
ways. She's an
It- it-
adult.
It
right.
does go both
Different if she was
ways.
a child, then we talking about another story.
Right.
But see, here's the thing. The problem is in his contract, it is no fraternizing, period,
Yes,
with
it
the
is.
with the employees. So he shouldn't, regardless of all that.
Right,
But
right. And I understand that. But shouldn't that be,
For her
so
as
the
well.
moral clause is an umbrella, right?
but
Not
wasn't
just
she a?
because.
I don't. Her position was as such is that I don't. But I'm not trying to justify it because I don't
Right,
know. We're only speculating at this point.
right.
And so if her clause, does she have to sign a contract when she started? Because he had to sign a contract because that was in his contract to say whether or not. But I'm thinking because her pay, she was making something like 40,
She's making
45,000, and
45,000.
then it went up
He
to
gave her a
99.
raise.
Yeah, to 99,000. And so the whole issue is I don't believe it had anything to do with what she was doing sexually that had him up in arms.
What
I
do you
think
think?
I think it had a lot to do with her being who she was because I understand that her dad is a sports commentator and her
Mhm.
grandfather is an NFL recruiter. So we're looking at the things that he was like thinking, well, and then she's 23, and he's 39. We as men, our problem is we do like young and tight, and
Okay.
sometimes it gets to the point. And when I
You know
say tight,
what?
I'm talking about elasticity is in the
I
skin and stuff like
understand.
that.
I understand.
Oh, we
I
understand
understand.
completely.
But what the problem is as we see ourselves age, we think we're losing it. But see, he doesn't understand that if he would have waited a few years, as a matter of fact, the older we get, the more in demand we as men are, because men are really in demand as we age. I know as I'm my age, I notice how more in demand that I am. I'm like, oh my God, really? And sometimes you think to yourself, oh, I'm old. Because I remember my dad would look in the mirror and he would say, look at this old man I've become.
Mm.
You
Is that what
know,
you're saying?
not yet.
Oh, okay. Wait, one of our
That's why I
listeners
go to
said,
the gym.
did you read this, Jay?
Did I read what?
Alan Hardy says, we like what, Jay Sanford? He said, what did you say, Jay?
Tell him to stop being shady. He knows.
But you know what's interesting though? Now see, that's a whole different dynamic. The father, the grandfather. So they already know what football can do.
Because they're sought after.
They're sought
Those
after.
guys, do you see the young man who they kept telling him to leave that woman alone? They married, and then next thing you know, she's divorcing and she's getting how much money was she getting? I can't remember exactly. This was just recently, this past summer. It was all on social media.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, they're telling him to stay away from her, leave her alone, leave her alone. She's all she is a sack chaser. And so, listen,
But
ask Samson. Her name was Delilah.
Delilah.
mhm,
Yes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and after she got what she wanted, she turned him back over.
Thank you.
Now, this girl, because Joanne was talking about that contract or how she stands, probably because she went and told. They say the first one that talks get the better deal.
But she didn't tell the truth the first time.
Well, she didn't tell the first time, but when she probably talked to her father, he said, "Look, go in there, let them know he gave you this raise. He did A, B, C, D, E. Now put on a sad puppy dog face."
Mhm.
Now, what they probably will do, they will probably release her from that position,
But hire somewhere else.
hire someone else, give her some
Or
money.
hire, like Sister Jane said, she said, put her somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Yeah. But see,
Not
here's the thing, though. A plan B, correct me if I'm wrong, a plan B only works like the day or two after, correct?
The day
Am I
after.
correct?
The morning after.
the morning
Okay.
after.
Excuse me. We didn't say abortion. We said plan B.
Plan
So they
B.
were still screwing the day before. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put this
And
to
that
context.
bothers me, though. That bothers me. That does. And I know I'm a woman, but
Mhm.
that bothers me that with a lot of these, the guy gets bashed, he loses his job, he loses, status, he loses. But especially when they're two adults and they're two consenting adults,
I
Yes.
agree.
then she ought to have some something
Accountability.
that's going on. She needs to be held accountable
Mhm.
also.
There's no question. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
So
You know,
because you're not young and stupid, and
No.
most of these
She's young,
women,
but I can't say not stupid though.
Mm-mm.
I'm not. But anyway,
but,
because
but they
see,
know what they're doing.
that's the thing. That's
the
that
thing
point.
is they know
That
what
part.
they're
They
doing.
know.
They know the game that they're playing.
They know it.
And they know the game and the cry that they can cry after the fact.
Yes.
Especially when they get caught up in it.
Come on
And that
now.
bothers me. I don't like that. As a woman, that bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mentioned Shannon Sharp. Look how much money he paid that girl to be quiet,
Isn't that something?
That was
and
all.
still got in trouble.
And that was his entire pension.
But see, we
she
believe.
had-
See, that's where I want to tell everybody. This thing is called pride. People don't understand that. It's called pride. And when you think you're not susceptible, you will fall. Because the Bible clearly tells us a haughty spirit is before a fall and before a great destruction. People can say all day long, I don't believe in God. That's fine. You don't have to believe in God because the sun rises on the just as well as the unjust. So every day there's a day, whether you bad or good, you get a chance to get under that daylight.
Yeah.
But the point being is eventually there was going to be some repercussion, retribution, payback. You can call it karma. You can call it whatever you want, but it's coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to bite you. And are you ready for it? And I heard this message one time. It's coming up again. Understand, it's coming up again. We have to understand. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can say I'm an atheist, fine. You're going to still deal with it.
Yeah. But and as you were talking, I was thinking about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is caught in that same situation. And she cleaned him out. I think he's recovered somewhat.
Yeah.
But she opened up that Louis Vuitton bag and stuffed it full of money and went back home.
But see here once again, Hugh, your color does not change the dynamics of it. As a matter of fact, it makes it worse because y'all watch these judge shows. A lot of these judge shows, you see them when they go ham on these people, and they clown on them. But my thing is when they have that kind of money, the first thing they think is, I'm good. I'm gonna get taken care of, which may be true. But my thing is when like Sister Joanne was saying, her dad taught her some wisdom. He said, I want you to want a man, but I don't want you to need a
I
man.
need one.
That is it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these girls, and you said it, you went to school you went to the school where they got married, they gave up, and they started doing whatever they were doing, and they started, a lot of these men, they took care of them. But then, see, times have changed so dramatically that a
Yes.
lot of these people, they have open marriages, they're doing all kind of stuff right
Mhm.
now. So I mean, what do you expect? Because I understand that this was not the only woman that he was messing with.
This is true.
You
Yeah,
know, but see, once it starts, the snowball starts rolling down the hill. It's on and popping because everybody want to come out and talk.
no
Oh
pun
yeah,
intended.
absolutely. So my thing is, she was 23. We get it. And regardless of man or woman. Sister Joanne, if you wanted a 23-year-old, I know you probably wise enough to say absolutely not. I get it. But but the thing about it is you look at it as such, it's flattering to know that you can get a young person. That part is the
Right.
real the
Right.
real part. It's flattering when you get to a certain age and somebody wants you younger. Oh yeah, you feeling some kind of way. Oh wow.
Well, I
That's
tell you
true.
what,
That's true.
when I get that 15 million, it's gonna be me and them only. Hey, million, I love
Well, you can
being with
play the
you.
lotto. It's 1.1 billion.
Thank you. Good
1.1
morning.
billion the lotto. Try to go for it, okay?
Y'all not gonna know when I hit.
Okay,
You
wait.
wait first, right? Hey, I'm telling you, I'm not telling nobody.
When I send that link and I don't get a response, Joanne Tosin, I'm gonna put out the search people for you.
But don't they have
I'll be
the
like,
law states that you have to tell it, don't you?
Well,
I don't know how
and
it
and
works.
they need to change that because it's not in every state anymore. But I know in Michigan it still is where you have to take a picture and they have to
mhm.
publish your name. But they need
What?
to stop that because this world is crazy now.
But,
This is crazy.
and that's why I said I wouldn't want the money. I really wouldn't. I would like to
Mhm.
have some money, but I wouldn't want that kind of money because it changes your
It
whole life.
changes everything.
Absolutely.
Change me.
You sound like my nephew.
Change me.
He was like, I'll
Change
handle
me,
it.
oh God.
But
You said, make me go ahead, go
make
ahead.
me over. Was that Tina Turner? I want to be made over. Make me over.
Well, I know Tone did make me over, but
Oh,
he was
Hmm.
trying
yeah.
to sing about trying to get
Well,
his
he was
whole life
talking
in
about
order.
God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Praise the
yeah,
Then
Lord.
Tamala Man changed me. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and she was too. But
Yeah.
in my case, I'm thank you, God, for making me over with that money. But there was somebody in the state who just won some money, and he went and took his picture with that mask. Did you all see that?
Really, no.
He had the screen mask on as he was signing off. They was
I
checking
don't blame them though.
Yeah,
out.
I don't either.
I think they need to. I think they need to quit
Mhm.
publishing
Yeah,
and
because
yeah,
people can stalk you.
It's so interesting that
it's
you all we
crazy.
were talking about this because I said earlier today, sitting in church, I said, if, if I got that money from the lottery, I'm not going back to my house. I'm not picking up nothing from in here. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gonna start anew. May not disappear, but if I probably wouldn't wear a mask on television because I would probably say, nah. But
Only you, only you.
all them haters, nah and nah.
And now again.
Now say what you got to say.
Now, but I'm
Absolutely.
not coming up back on this street.
Well, see, here's I was in a CVS yesterday, and I was waiting on this guy. He was at the lottery, and he came up to and I was just waiting to. It was only one attendant, so they were doing the lottery, and also, So he said, "I've got some winners." So he had got some money, and I
Mhm.
said, "Oh, you getting prepared for the $1 billion, right?" He said, "You better believe I'm playing it." So I was like, well, I hope you win.
Uh-huh.
But he went, in CVS, they have that lottery machine also where you can go buy other tickets. He took that money that he had just won off of some scratch offs or something and went over to that other machine and he's just buying up stuff. But see,
Oh,
I see how people win. But the Coney Island that I go to quite frequently, my man kept saying he hits regularly. So
Okay.
he was telling me to play a number. He said, play 110. He was telling me that. So I hadn't gone in there a
I
few
need to
days
write
later.
that down.
I had went in there a few days later.
110.
I
Okay.
went in there a few days
Will
later
it?
and I'm talking to him. And I said, did that number come? Because I don't play.
Right.
And he said, yeah, I hit for $50,000. I was like, you got to be kidding me. If I would have came here yesterday like I started to, I probably would remember to go to the store and play
And play it.
110 just because you said it. But see, it's so many people who go and they play these lottery numbers and they have the lotteries. And I get, but see, a lot of people who hit quick and big like that don't understand how to navigate their way in life because a
No.
lot of these people
Mm.
lose their lives. And I'm looking, if we can go back to Shamar Moore, if you look at him, he, I don't know what his status was prior to him. I
Prior
know he
to.
was assistant coach. He wasn't used to having that kind of money. So he didn't have anybody who had around him who can offer him some advice.
Yeah.
We start having people in our corner that's no good for us because
Yes.
one, we're making this kind of money. And so now we have leeches. And
Yeah.
what we're doing is we're feeding friends. We having people that just want to, I've seen some of the videos that he was appearing in. He starts doing this. So the things that we were doing, we all of a sudden change.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
And
is
we
true.
start thinking that, oh man, I got it now. And really, you really don't
You
have
really don't,
And
because
we don't.
as quick as you make it, it can be gone
It
just
can be
as quick.
gone.
it. Ask
Just as
him.
quick.
Ask
Ask
him.
And
him.
and then like you said, you surround yourself with yes people.
Right.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
I have before we go, I have a funny story. So I went after the time, and you all know my mother, and so my mother was, she was she Bible believing woman, and she was heavily into the church, and she was committed to her belief in Christ. And when I had to start driving her around, I took her to the grocery store one day, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna put you off on the door, and I'll come in." She said, "Like, okay." So when I went into the store, I looked. She's in the lottery line, and I said to her, "I said, I'm shocked." I said, "You're in the lottery line?" I said, "You play lottery?" She said, "No, I'm here to get my get that medication, the pills behind."
Yeah,
I said, "This
okay.
is the lottery line, Mabel."
But Rudy, you saying something that has a lot to do with religion.
Hmm.
Because see, we think that playing the lottery will send you to hell.
People
What's
do.
gonna send you to
People
hell is
do. People, yes, they do.
Mhm.
what's gonna send you to hell is unforgiveness.
Yes.
Oh,
Hatred.
hatred, absolutely.
The
Hmm.
Uh,
seven sins God hate the most ain't had nothing to do with the lottery.
Come
Nothing
on.
with the lottery.
And guess what? That
It has to
one
do with the tongue.
and then the
Four,
son,
three of
and
them.
the seventh one is the one, a discord sower among the brethren God hates.
You better
That's right.
say it.
So
You
that
better
means
say
if
that.
Rudy tells me something about Joanne, I go back to Sister Joanne and say, Joanne, you know what Rufus said about you? I'm
Hmm.
causing discord,
Discord.
especially if
Discord.
it causes you to not like him. So,
Exactly.
so what we do is and I say this on the radio all the time. A lot of these men and women that have these children, because they have different lifestyles, they kick them to the curb.
Right.
God gave you that child. That child was birthed out of you. That sperm came out of you. That
Hmm.
child came out of you.
And
And you want to kick them to the curb? Listen, God gave you that baby. So there's something that you're supposed to learn. You see, most of the times, these parents, you know what it is?
Hmm.
They don't like what they see in these kids because it's them.
It's them,
It's
of
them.
That's
course.
all
It's
it
them.
is.
It's
And they're
them.
saying, "Oh, I hate that," So, but that's the problem that I have. So, I'm tired of these speaking in tongue religious people who are so saved that they have
Amen.
no love. They
Hmm.
talk about church hurt, but see, what we have to remember is this one thing: it's called a body. And everybody plays a part in the body. None of us stood before God before we came into that womb and said, I want to be XYZ.
Right.
What we did was God put us here. Whatever happened to us was our lot in life, and we have an assignment. And what is that assignment? Is what God has called us to do. It doesn't matter what your thorn is, because your thorn is not going to, you have an obligation to still fulfill your duty, even with your, and I'm going to use the word disability, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
that's all they are, is
That's all
disability.
they are. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see a person, or most of the people that are disabled still want to perform like they're able.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at them.
Me
Right.
either.
So this is the thing that I would say to anybody. You still drinking? You still doing whatever you're doing? Okay. Until you learn to overcome, you make sure. Because I remember when I used to do what I was doing, I was the one person who was still praying. My friends would be like, I know you ain't praying. They knew the drill. Because
Still saying
before I got in
grace.
that bed, guess what I was doing? I was praying because
Mhm.
it was in me. And so the thing about it is the relationship that I have with God is my relationship with God that has kept me, because God has never forsaken me. And
Amen.
I don't care what nobody says. I may have been XYZ, but he's been ABC.
Amen.
Oh,
And
let me
I
get to
mean,
the
Amen.
piano. Let me get to the piano. Get some
And let me
chords
pass
going
that
on
plate
here.
after that one. You better say that. That is so true.
so I'm not going to forsake him. I
Exactly.
can't forsake him. But that's the thing. It's the difference between a relationship and religion. Because see, what people want to do is scare you into heaven. That means you don't listen. I used to love when my dad didn't come home when he was at work. I'd be like, oh my God, thank God. Because I thought I was the poster child getting that butt beat. But I was mischievous anyway.
Yeah, still. Well, well, let me tell you. So after I said that to my mother, and I was teasing her because I know she wasn't in the lottery line, but she said, "I'm the mama. I'm 83,
That part.
and if I want to play the lottery, young man, I not only play it here, I'll play it around the corner. I'll play it. I said, okay, mama, simmer down, old girl.
Hey, who you to tell me?
We done got her revved up.
Oh, well, you know how to get revved up too, so we know how that is.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sanford, we want to
Thank
thank
very
you so
on
much
that
for being on the show today.
And I enjoyed being here.
We enjoyed having you.
Really.
Tell us when can we listen to you?
You can listen to me tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, I was on tonight.
Yes, you
I'm
wrote. Are
on
you still
Sunday
on now?
nights. No, I'm off.
Oh, you're off.
I,
Okay.
I was on tonight from 6 to 8 on 103.5 FM, and also I play jazz. It's called Jazzpirations, and also simulcasting on 1340. You can listen to me tomorrow morning, 9:15 until noon. Please, I'm expecting everybody to please come out on Tuesday, December 16th, 23310 Joy Road at the Consuming Fire Christian Center Ministries. We'll be broadcasting live from 9 until 6. And we want to help these children, and also we want to help the food pantries of Consuming Fire Christian Center Ministry, so the non-perishable foods. But you can go to WCHB1340.com and check out all of the items that we're looking to gather. And so many people have been so kind thus
Yeah.
far. People have been bringing me things to church. They had stuff for me at church today, last week. And I'm just being so appreciative that the people are doing this. But you know what? When you shut your bowels of mercies up, guess what? When you, I'll put it this way, and because since we're video, when you raise your hands to say thank you to God, right? Do you do this? Thank you, Lord.
Mm-mm.
You like this? Thank you, Lord, because you want to receive what God has for you.
That's for sure.
So when you shut your bowels of mercy up, you doing this. So how can you get anything into your hand, or how can anybody get anything out of your hand if you don't have an open heart?
You're right. All right, Jay. Well, once again, we're so glad that you were our special guest today. And we
I know I probably won't be invited back.
Oh,
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
See how Joanne just smoothed it out, because I had a comeback for that.
I know you
See,
did.
Joanne came right
Had to
in.
get in there first.
She know how to do it.
He already know.
But no, it's
She's
been a
blocking our
delight.
blessing.
She said our blessing. She's being generous, okay?
Yes, she is. But thanks again, and congratulations to you and to the nonprofit for
Thank
what you're
you.
doing, and to the station for joining with you and the church. Because I know it's already a success, and the best of holiday season to you, Jay, my friend.
Thank you to the both of you as well, and to all your viewers and the ones that are looking. Please enjoy your holiday, and remember, pay attention to everything around you, because a
Definitely.
whole lot of folk doing a lot of nefarious things, and you don't want to be caught up in this mess. But God bless the
All
both
right.
of you, and thank you
Have a
again
great
for
one.
having me. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Peace.
Joanne. So what you got for us this week? Do you have a busy week after you return?
I have a very busy week.
Do
Very
you?
busy, but it's okay because I'm rested. I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it. Mm-hmm.
Question for you: is Burns doing anything for Christmas in terms of music?
I think they are. I won't because I'm out of town again next weekend, but I think they are. This will be the Christmas Saturday. Will be
Okay.
that one. So yes.
Oh, you're just
Yeah.
out and about and doing everything.
Life is good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your trip and you got much needed rest. And until you get back into the threshold of Detroit, be safe.
Yes. Say your prayers. We fly out tomorrow around 12:30.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully it might warm up so you can feel a warm breeze and
Anything
not the cold.
under 50. Because that's what we leaving here.
Oh,
We have
man.
to do, don't we?
We have to do. I think it's safe to say that we lost. I'm looking 34 to 41.
Uh-oh.
I know Justin is laid out somewhere with
Uh-oh.
with a blanket. When you fall out in the spirit, and they put that cloth over you. They got the cloth over
Right,
Justin.
like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hilarious.
Oh,
Hilarious.
Mm-mm.
Well, have a wonderful, safe flight, and we look
Thank
forward
you.
to the next time we're together.
Have a wonderful week.
You as well, my
But
friend.
this is your Christmas program, right?
Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
Yep. Will you still be in town Thursday?
I'll be in town Thursday.
Okay.
Mhm. So I'll see if I can make it again.
Hopefully you can. You know, I got you taken care of right on the front row.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Everybody have a great week, and we'll be with you on next week. Peace.